In this problem, I'm going to find the endpoint when I'm given the midpoint and the other endpoint. So it says the midpoint of line segment AB is 6, -1. And if the coordinates of A are 4, -4, what are the coordinates of B? So the first thing I want to do is set some variables up so that I can use the midpoint formula. So my midpoint M, which is 6, -1, I'm going to let that be equal to x and y, my midpoint coordinates. My point A, which is 4, -4, is going to be my x1 and my y1. And my B, which I don't know, I'm going to let that be my x2 and my y2. And now I'm going to use the midpoint formula to find the values of x2 and y2. So from the midpoint formula, I know that my value x, which is the x-coordinate of the midpoint, is equal to x1 plus x2 divided by 2. So if I substitute in the values that I know, I could say that 6 is equal to, because 6 is equal to x, 6 is equal to x1, which is 4, plus x2, which I don't know, divided by 2. And now I'm going to solve for x2 to find the x-coordinate of B. To do that, I multiply by 2 on both sides, because when I multiply by 2, I undo this division. 2 divided by 2 is just 1. So I have 2 times 6, which is 12, is equal to 4 plus x2. Now if I subtract 4 on both sides, I get x2 by itself, because 4 minus 4 is 0. So 12 minus 4 gives me 8. So 8 is equal to x2. So now I know that the x-coordinate of B is 8. I'm going to do the same process for the y-coordinate. I know from the midpoint formula y is equal to y1 plus y2 divided by 2. So if I plug in the values that I know that y is equal to -1, and I know that y1 is equal to -4. So I could set up the equation -1 is equal to -4 plus y2 divided by 2. And again, I need to solve for y2. So to do that, I'm going to multiply this whole thing by 2. So I'm going to distribute that there and there. When I multiply by 2 on the left, -1 times 2 is -2, and that is equal to, well, if I multiply and divide by 2 at the same time, well, that's going to cancel out. 2 divided by 2 is just 1. So I have 2 is equal to -4 plus y2. Now I can add 4 on both sides, because I want to get y2 by itself. -4 plus 4 is 0. -2 plus 4 is +2. So now I know that y2 is equal to +2. So now my final answer is that the point B, which has coordinates x2, y2, is equal to +8, +2. And that is my endpoint B.